Hey YouTube, B3 here back with another kicking action figure review. We got another DC Movie Masters figure, this time from the Green Lantern line. It is Naut Kei Loi. Yeah, very, very cool. This is one of the earlier ones. We had several because we had the big Build-A-Figure Parallax, which is what I'm trying to build, and you can get most of them pretty cheap nowadays. Not a problem. This guy I got for $8 on Amazon, shipped, $8 shipped, which is pretty good. I'm a little over halfway to building my Parallax, and I'm not going to show you his Collect and Connect piece. It was the same tentacle that came with Hal Jordan and several others. There are like 4 of the same tentacle that go on Parallax, which I guess cheapened it up for Mattel a little bit. But I actually think, for the most part, they did a good job with the Movie Masters Green Lantern line. Lots of these really cool original-looking designs and the shiny green paint and stuff. I mean, like the Hal Jordan and the Sinestro and the Hector Hammond and the more humanoid figures are pretty awful. But these guys aren't bad, the more alien ones. Here we have Naut Kei Loi, who, ignore that noise, in the comics was, like a fish man. He just kind of has a fishbowl on his head and a fish head with a humanoid body. And here they just made him a big old floating fish, which is pretty cool. And this guy has more articulation than you would expect. Yeah, his head goes side to side, as you can see. Jaw articulation, pretty cool. You have that tiny bit up and down on the head, but it wasn't really worth mentioning, I guess. In and out on his flippers, forward and back like that, kind of up and down movement. And then you have like articulation here in the flipper, and you can bend it back there, or in like that, which is pretty neat, I suppose. And you also have a joint like that on his tail back here. So that's pretty cool. You can move a lot more than you would expect. But he's actually a pretty cool figure. We got these kind of shades of blue and brown, which I guess are the colors his species is without the ring on. And then, of course, the ring gives him all this fancy green. You can see you've got cool flippers. Very neat. He's got his fin back here. He's got that very fish-looking head. Inside of his mouth all painted and everything. Nice looking eyes. His Green Lantern symbol. It's very, very cool and very nice sculpting on this guy. A very unique figure. Worth getting if just for that. You get a bunch of unique figures and stuff. And if you want to have the Universe Classics Naut Kei Loi and this one both displayed in your collection, then that totally works. Because, they both look so different. And also, if you're wondering where his ring is, it's right here on his little flipper. Right there. There's his ring. So, yeah, now how about we get into those size comparisons. Here's Naut Kei Loi with some other Movie Masters. Sorry again about those cows. They're going to be in the barn forever, so I'm not going to be able to film quietly for a long time. But, yeah, here on the left we have Green Lantern Hal Jordan, whom he scales up just fine with, and here on the right, The Dark Knight Rises, Ra's al Ghul. Yeah. So, to be totally honest, I think he scales up great with your other Movie Masters. He'll be just fine with Man of Steel also. And here he is with some more DC Universe Classic scale figures from Mattel also. Here on the left we have the Signature Collection Red Lantern Atrocitus, and here on the right we have the, Professor Zoom Reverse Flash figure from Wave 20 of DC Universe Classics. This is my newest one right here. But, yeah, they are fine together, I guess. I mean, I know like Kei Loi seems pretty short, but you can assume he'd be floating, so he'd be more like here. He'd be floating like this. And, I think these very unique designed lanterns for Movie Masters, these bulkier ones anyways, actually just scale fine. So I think you could work him. I think you could. This is a convincing scaling, in my opinion. I think it's just fine. And then here we have him with some DC Direct, DC Collectibles figures. Here we have the Deathstroke from the Arrow 2-pack. And here we have Ultraman from the Forever Evil line. Very, very cool. I said you could work him with the other guys, but he might just be a little too small for these guys, I don't think he works as well with them. It's just a little too much of a size difference. But I think he works fine with your other Mattel figures, in the sort of 6 inches range. But maybe not like those tiny little, because they're tiny little, like 3 3/4 inch Mattel DC heroes also. but he'll scale up well with like your DC Universe Classics and Movie Masters. Maybe not your DC Collectibles though. So all in all, what are my final thoughts on the Movie Masters Green Lantern Naut Kei Loi figure? Well, he's very unique. I feel like Mattel really did try, for the most part on this line. They kind of ignored their humanoid figures a little, but these unique ones are pretty cool and definitely worth having in your collection if you can get them cheap. Don't pay too much for them, though. For real. Like, just like the maskless Hal Jordan I see for like 25 bucks sometimes, and I wonder who would ever pay that for that awful, awful figure. But, yeah, you know, Naut Kei Loi isn't a bad figure, but he's not like the best figure in my collection either. So honestly, I gotta give him 3 out of 5 stars. He's an okay figure, but he's not this grand spectacle. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's it, you guys. If you're to rate, comment, and subscribe, check out all the cool links in the description below. I got Facebook, Twitter, our other channels. There's lots of action figure stuff on our B3 Productions channel if you want to check that channel out specifically. And we got cool stuff on our other channels also. So yeah, that's it. I'll see you all later. Thanks for the support.